Hello and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Radio Works World and I am Marion Bevington, the Vision host. And it's very exciting today. I've got lots of news. It's really exciting because today is the day that Stage Fright Away goes live. Yay! So we thought we'll have a little celebration. So let's have some of this. That's better. Brought me down to earth a little with the noise. Let me just... It's going to continue to ring in the distance. So, Stage Fright Away. What is Stage Fright Away? Well, because of the work that I've been doing, and you struggle, don't we? We think that we've got things to achieve, that it's not actually what we're doing now. We see these things that other people do or successes that other people have, and they all drag us off in all crazy directions. Well, what I've chosen to do is to bring together what I'm already doing so that I'm not struggling, so that I'm not fighting an uphill battle, that all I need to do is to just do what I do. So that was what I decided to do what I do. And so in doing what I do, I've brought together the skills that I've developed around public speaking, because with public speaking, I've been helping people to find their voice, find their authentic voice. And this began with my yoga studies and my yoga practices, because what I realized was that actually very often we are not actually living for ourselves, that we are living for other people. And so I realized I'm going to switch things off. I have electronic things on and they're going to start pinging and ponging. And so when we're trying to please other people, or we're trying to do things for other people, or we're trying to make up for some kind of deficit of who we are, we think that we're not enough. We're trained that we're not enough. When you're at school, they don't tell you how good you are at certain subjects. Well, they might do, but they always point out what you don't do. Red pen all over your books. Red pen really draws the eye, doesn't it? And what does it draw the eye to? It draws the eye to the areas where you didn't make the grade. So where you had, for me, it was spelling mistakes. It was grammar. So for other kids, I remember the kid next to me couldn't really write very well. And so there was always, I can't read your words. So they could read my words, but my words were spelt wrong. So that was wrong. But the kid next to me was very good at spelling and really creative and had amazing stories. But they said, we can't read your writing. Spelling was great and the stories were great. This poor kid had no idea what a great storyteller they were. And there's me thinking that I'm completely dumb because I can't spell. I mean, to this day, I still stumble over so many words. I'll tell you, like, my top 3 words that I stumble over. Friend. So I have to, in my head, I have to say free end because otherwise I put F-R-E, because that's friend, it's isn't it? And the other one is believe. And I use believe all the time. It's one of the words that I use a lot. I use friend a lot as well, but I use believe a lot. Oh, and where's the I and where's the E and all these crazy combinations of letters in English. And the one that had flummoxed me for years and years, and I would have to really focus on what it was just for the first letter. Once. Listen to the word. Once. W. What sound is W? It's the sound of a W. So I'd write W on the pad, and I still do it occasionally today, not quite so often. I'll write W, and then I'll think, it's not a W. Oh, and then I'll remember, it's an O, because I've got the program now. So always being told what we are not is the way that we've been taught, and it's the programming that's been installed. So my work is to release what you're not, because you're not, and that's okay. It's acceptable. It's okay. You can forgive yourself. You can love yourself. You can shine as yourself, even though you can't spell, if you can't spell. So to help with public speaking, what I learned was that we have so many fears that we won't sound good enough, that we won't be intelligent enough, that we won't be funny enough, that we won't be something enough. And the fear stops us from just naturally communicating. And a great speaker is always a great communicator. You know, we don't speak just to dump information on people's heads. We actually speak because we want the information to be received, not dumped, but to be received. So when you're communicating, are you in the process of giving and receiving? Or do you find yourself dumping for the sake of dumping to prove that you are good enough or something like that? Anyway, so public speaking, and because I was a yoga teacher, I do public speaking in front of a class every time. I was always good at presentations. I got very nervous towards the end of school because my spelling and my reading were quite poor. So reading out loud was a big issue for me. But just speaking from the heart, that was okay. So because I teach public speaking, it's one of the subjects that I love teaching, and it really fits nicely with yoga because it's about expressing from your body, finding what your body is about, finding what your mind is about, and learning how to express all of that. So public speaking was great. And then I moved into the clearing and the healing work to help to clear and heal some autoimmune processing that was happening in my body. And so in order to clear and heal that, yoga wasn't quite enough. It was the best first step for me, but it wasn't quite enough to really clear out the junk. So with Stage Fright Away, what I've done is I've brought the clearing of all of the junk, and I've brought the being on stage and shining and being able to share your message. And these are the two jobs that I love, and I do them easily, and I don't have to think about them. I just do them. It's like they are me. Then I can bring them together, and now we have Stage Fright Away. So we get rid of stage fright. So it helps you if you have any kind of nerves when you're speaking, if you forget your words, if you get sweaty and flustered, if you just clam up, if your legs get wobbly, if you get really, really sweaty. Nervous, especially of reading out loud, I would get particularly sweaty. That would be my thing. Sweaty and tongue-tied. So it would be as if my tongue got stiff and I couldn't move it anymore. And so the sounds wouldn't come out the way that I wanted them to. So even though I knew the words behind my tongue, and my tongue wasn't able to help to release them from my mouth. So what is it that happens to you when you have to speak in public? So just imagine for a moment. So if you're a man, imagine you are the father of the bride or the best man, and you've got that speech to make. Or if you're a woman, maybe you're the maid of honor and you want to make a speech. Or it's been, you've had a celebration, you've had a birthday or some kind of celebration, and you want to stand up and thank everybody for attending and celebrating with you and having fun. Now you have to stand up and somebody gives you a microphone and you have to speak. So there's a video camera and you have to keep speaking to all of these people and into this microphone, and there's a camera here watching you. What does it do for you? How does it affect and impact your state? Does it make you nervous? Or does it make you think, oh, fabulous, I'm in this place where I can share my message. I'm in a place where I can communicate and everybody's hear what I've got to say. And I love all of these people and I love my message. What a fabulous opportunity. Which mindset are you in? Are you in the nervousness? Because if you are, then Stage Fright Away is perfect for you. What I've done is I've worked through a very deep clearing process with a client of mine who is a speaker. He's actually in property and he's brilliant because he's about property for community. He doesn't want to make so much profit out of people who need a home. He wants to provide brilliant homes that people are happy to pay for. So he's got lots of really high morals, really high ethics when it comes to property. Many people in property that don't have those morals and ethics. So when I met him, it was a great opportunity to work with somebody that I admire. Before we did the work together, he'd been very nervous, very worried about, well, I'm not going to tell you the story because I want you to see the product, because it's an amazing product, and just seeing the product will help you. So the product is the story of healing and clearing Mick, his name is. So we clear Mick's fears and problems on stage and in groups, and we help to heal his own inner wound, his deep core wound that was actually the source of the nervousness and the source of the discomfort and the source of the anxiety when he was speaking in public. Cleared the source. So now there's no fireworks of anxiety going off. Instead, he now has fireworks of joy, and he has fun, and he can have a laugh. He can laugh at himself. He can laugh with his audience. He can share his message. He can explain to people just what it is that he does, how he can help those people, or how he helps his clients. And he really does have great fun on stage. And I've got an amazing testimonial. In fact, it's worked so well for him. He's now sent me 2 testimonials to really share how powerfully this process works. So with the process, you will have some questionnaires so that you can complete these questionnaires that really help to unravel and unfold the programs that you've learned that have stopped you from shining your light. And as we go through the questionnaire, you'll start to see these stories from history, from your personal history, that have affected you being able to communicate and speak in public now. The things that are the source of the stage fright, if you like. And once we've identified where the source of that is, we can visit the source in the mind. Because did you know that when you're having memories, when you're indulging in memories, it's in the same place as the imagination. Imagination and memories actually use really similar and common parts of the brain. And they will also have an effect on the body. So you remember a memory where you were a bit scared, maybe just a little bit. Don't go to a big horror story. But if you go to a memory where you were a bit scared and you really vividly remember that memory again, you know, looking out of your eyes, seeing what you saw, hearing what you heard, feeling what you felt in that moment, you'll begin to feel the fear in the body. So the body responds, whether it's memory, whether it's present moment, whether it's imagined, or if you're watching a movie, a film on TV, and it's a bit scary, you can feel the fear in your body, can't you? I mean, you can fight against it, you can consciously switch it off. But if you allow yourself to get caught up in the moment, whether it's real, imagined, whether it's memory, whether it's on TV, whether it's happening to you now, the body will respond. Yes, we use this ability for the body to always respond, to help to clear stage fright, to help to clear fear of public speaking. And it also helps with all different types of performances. So, you know, if you're a musician, if you're an actor, if you're going for an interview, all of these situations where people get nervous sharing themselves. If you've got social phobia is huge these days. People hide behind Facebook, they hide behind Snapchat and Twitter and Instagram. They hide behind all of these facades of social media, and it means that actually socially they feel really anxious and they get into a panic. So that's why this product is so needed. This process of speak easy is what I've called it. So you can speak easy, so you can be yourself, be easy, enjoy. And when this process of speak easy is being completed, you'll realize at the end that actually once you've unraveled these programs and you've deprogrammed them, you've unlearned them, and you've created the resources of where you do want to be and what you do want to do and how you do want your life to look, then you can start to really lay the foundations of allowing you to really shine, being the authentic you, the shining light that we talk about so frequently. And so stagefrightaway.com is the website. And also I'm going to share it on social media this week because the product is ready today. It's the last day of February, first day of March. So it's like the beginning of spring. So in order to spring into this new year, to have a spring in your step and to start to flower and flourish from within, then I'm going to share Speakeasy with the world today. So it's available, so you can check out the website and you'll see it on social media too. And what I would really love to know is people, I know that it helps people. So when you've used it, I'd really love to know the results. So there are some questionnaires that you fill in. And I'd really like people to share those questionnaires with me. I'd really like you to share those questionnaires with me. There's a book on the way as well, because I know people like to read. And I realized when I was putting the program together, it's videos, and there's quite a lot of documentation, but the documentation is charts and questionnaires for you to fill in. So we really start to find out all about you. But when I know that people like reading, and also the idea of doing an audio book from the book is another great idea. So the book is currently being written. It's almost complete. I just need to finalize some of the editing. So the book will also be released very soon, but for now, the video program is there, and that is the thing that actually does the work. That's how you can do the work to clear your stage fright. Now, the story that we go through with Mick is fascinating. I didn't really know anything about his past when I met him. I knew about his present. I knew that he wanted to speak and share his message, and I knew that he was having difficulties. And so when we went through and unraveled all of the programming and the stories and the history, and we found out what the programs were and where they'd come from, oh my goodness, what an amazing story. Really is an amazing story. It's so moving. And we really helped to bring out his inner light. His inner light shines so brightly by the end of the process. It is absolutely beautiful. All about stage fright away. And now I have another really exciting thing to share with the world. It's a big week this week. It's the first week of spring. So allow the sound in. Because I have another big announcement. Ta-da! The announcement is that we have the first Live, Love, Laugh Lounge goes live. It's a retreat. We're running our first retreat, and the beautiful Marina Nani from Radio Works World, she has been one of the key players in our retreat, creating the retreat and getting people to find out more about it and come along. Because in the retreat, what we do is for the Find Your Why Foundation, the two groups we have are the Live, Love, Laugh Lounge, which is the wise women, and we have the Man Cave, which is the wise men. And these are wise, W-H-Y-S, people who know their why. Now, I have somewhere here, I have something to show you. This is the book, Find Your Why, to become freaking awesome. So when you find your why, it means finding your purpose, finding out why you want what you want, really finding out what you want rather than what you think you should have. But it's really important. The core of this is why you are where you are right now and who you really are, the deepest part of you. What is it that you identify yourself as? Because when you know all of this, then your why, the why are you here, becomes much clearer. And then you can live on purpose. You can really live the life that you were born to live, and do so in a way that makes you really satisfied and fulfilled, living on purpose. So in order to help people live on purpose, we teach in the Live, Love, Laugh Lounge and in the Man Cave, we teach lots of different techniques. And we also teach people how to understand, again, the programming and the learning and the history of where it's come from and why you are where you are and what programs you've got that are stopping you. What do you want? What do you really, really want for all the Spice Girls fans out there? Because when you understand why you are where you are and what it is that you want, then you've got a direction. So I'm here. I want to get here. What can I do to bridge the gap? And so the retreat is all about practicing and exercising techniques, the gap. So identifying what stops you, looking at where you want to go, and then working through the processing and the programming to release what you don't want, to expand what you do want, so that you can reach the goal, get to your intention, your intended outcome, in a way that just is, it's one of the most expansive experiences I've ever had. When I realized who I was, and I'm still learning because things come up every day. When I realized who I was and I realized what I was good at, one of the things that it's helped me to do is to find the stage public speaking and stage fright understanding, and the clearing, the away, get rid of what we don't want, and bring that together and create stage fright away. Now, without this process, without the processes that we use in the Find Your Why Foundation and in the Live, Love, Laugh Lounge Goes Live, the retreat, what we will be doing are the processes that have changed my life. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was earning a lot of money doing computing. I was traveling around the world. I was actually running away from, that's what I was doing. I was running away from dissatisfaction, but I was also running away from a deep sense of fear. As a child in a house with alcoholism and in a house with lots of violence. So for me, lots of my programs were, it's a scary place. I'm in danger. I have to make sure I'm constantly vigilant, looking for danger. And I have to please, I have to seek approval. I want to pull in, I want them to like me. I want all the alcoholics, I want them to like me. They're nice when they like me, they laugh, they buy me crisps, they buy me pop, they're good to me. And when they're not good to me, they're shouty and they're violent. So all of these patterns that I developed as a child were what I was actually running away from. And I was very good at running away. I traveled around the world on my own. I lived in South America. I lived in the Caribbean. I've lived in India. I've lived in the south of France and in Spain. I've lived in so many different countries, and I love traveling. But now I understand that one of my driving factors was actually a negative. It was running away from what I didn't want, and running away from this sense of dissatisfaction and fear. And now I understand that. It doesn't really matter where I am. I still love traveling. We will have a surprise soon. I'll be able to talk about the surprise soon, because the Find Your Why Foundation, we are expanding. We're going international. And this retreat is the first step with my beautiful business partner, Cheryl Chapman, who we call Queen C, because she is the most kick-ass coach I have ever met. She keeps me on track, she guides me, she loves me, and she expects the best from me. She accepts who I am, she forgives me, she pushes me, she welcomes me, she's open-hearted and compassionate with me. I couldn't ask for a better friend. She's the sister from my sister from another mother. I know it doesn't rhyme, but that's who she is. She's my soul sister. And finding her, and now being able to work together with her, because she has such different skills from me. She guides and coaches in a very action-oriented way, and I help to clear the blocks that come up when you are in action. Because when you are in action, deepest fears come up, deepest problems come up, old programs appear, old judgments appear. If you're not judging yourself, then you're judging other people. You know, you're living in a world where people disappoint you, and you live in a place of disappointment and resentment, and none of those are good places. So she helps you to get into action, which will bring up all of these programs, judgments, self-judgments, inner talk. It'll bring up all of this stuff, disappointment, and then I can help you to unravel, where did that come from? What are the root causes of this? Because these are my feelings. If I'm feeling disappointed, it doesn't matter what you've done. Matter how you've disappointed me, it's not your business. If I'm disappointed, it's my business. It's my feeling, and it doesn't matter what you do. And so the more we understand that other people's opinions, but other people's opinions of us are none of our business. But whatever other people do, whoever you are, it's none of my business what you do. My business is to see what I do, to behave in a way that serves me. And I think one of the things that and this week has been a really big week for me, and I'm understanding the value of compassion. And I'm starting to see that actually compassion is I talked about it last week, didn't I, with this unconditional love. Unconditional love means there are no conditions. Well, we live in 3D material reality. There are conditions, there are polarities, there's hot and cold, there's black and white, there's good and bad, there's 1 and 0. There's all these polarities that exist, and they have to exist for this 3D material existence to be here. I'm going to go deep now, stay with me. Unconditional love has no polarities, it has no judgments, it exists everywhere in all time and all space. But in 3D we don't get that. We can't get that. It is not 3D. The closest we can get to unconditional love in this 3D existence is compassion. Compassion. The Dalai Lama talks about it all of the time. All of the great teachers have always talked about it. Jesus talked about it. Muhammad talked about it. Everybody who's been a great spiritual teacher, whose teachings are true and heartfelt, they talk about compassion. We use the word love in so many different ways, but when we talk about love and we mean the sense of compassion, compassionate love, this is for me the ultimate. It's the best place to be. And I believe that this is the journey for me, and possibly lots of other people, possibly everybody. But I believe that my spiritual journey is to take me to the heights of compassion, and compassion starts within. I need to have a sense of compassion within myself, regardless of what state I end up in. If I end up in a state of disappointment, that's okay. I recognize the disappointment. I can see I am not the disappointment. I can be compassionate. Disappointment is a learned response. It's triggered by all sorts of emotions and programs and beliefs. It's a learned response. So when I'm disappointed, I can still realize that it's not me. I have this feeling, and this feeling is disappointment. So I can separate the two. And when I can separate them, I can love them both. I can love me, and I can love the disappointment. The disappointment has a source, what we talked about before. The source will be some history, some past experiences, some social conditioning, family conditioning, all sorts of information has come in, and it's created this sense of expectation in me that's not been met. Because the expectation isn't met, disappointment is the result. So I can see that disappointment is the end of a long chain of events. And when I can see that, I can look at the chain of events. They're not me. Parts of the things that are happening in my mind are not me. And with compassion, I can stay with me. I can be compassionate with me. Be compassionate with all parts of me, all of my actions, all of my behaviors. I can be compassionate with all of them. But it starts with me. And then when I'm compassionate with my behaviors, my beliefs, the result of all of those things, then I can be compassionate with the rest of the world. But if I force compassion on the world and it's not coming from within, it's not really compassion, it's people pleasing. And I know because I was a professional people pleaser for many, many years. So I can talk about this with great experience. So my two lovely lovelinesses of the week are Stage Fright Away. So get the program, go and find out more about it. It is brilliant. If you want to grow in confidence and you want to feel more comfortable when you're sharing your message, then Stage Fright Away is perfect for you. And the product is called Speak Easy. And on Friday morning, we begin Live, Love, Laugh Lounge goes live. It's a tongue twister and it's a retreat and it's going to be amazing. And there are going to be many, many more. And as I say, we're going international. So listen out for some amazing news about the Find Your Why Foundation and the retreats that are coming ahead. So Marina, come and join me. Marina has been so helpful. She has sponsored this retreat. I'm so grateful, Marina. My heart is so open and so in gratitude of you for helping us to get this retreat off by sponsoring us. So wow, and thank you.
Wow, Marion, you know, I'm thinking that what I'm thinking right now is that this is an old dream of mine for you to launch the Speak Easy program. And you know what? Dreams are coming true. And I'm so, so excited because it is something I needed, like oxygen, and I couldn't find it. And I know that thousands and hundreds of thousands of people out there who need you, who need what you created and what you are delivering, because it's been created for a very long time.
Yes.
That's your craft. And I know you have amazing talents. And some of them I can't really comprehend because I'm 2,000 years light behind you, but I'm coming to join you. But this is the magical pill. This is something that has never been delivered before, actually. And I'm thinking now that, you know, when you go on stage, and I've been in that situation where I've been dragged on stage, I had no idea what I'm doing there or why they asked me to say anything at all. I had no idea I even have a story. They said, just share your story. And I thought, really, what story? Blimey, I don't have a story. Mm-hmm. So I carried that fright with me for years because I felt embarrassed. I felt ashamed. I've been talking in front of thousands of people, and they were very kind to me. Heart. And I know there is a reason behind everything happened the wrong way around for me because I had to come out of my comfort zone and understand that it's not about really being in a comfort zone or not. It's about becoming the uncomfortable of yourself. So since then I realized that what happened in that moment, I realized that I wasn't there for me. I was there to deliver a message for the people who were in front of me. So yes, I didn't plan for it. Yes, I had no knowledge, no structure, nothing but myself. And yet people loved it. People were following me, even to the ladies, more and to find out more. So obvious, speaking from the heart is something that anyone can do. But what I remember at the time, I remember that I wasn't there for me. It wasn't about me. Even it was my story. It wasn't about me. For me. But it was still a very, very tough experience. Yeah. I did not know I have a story. So I think what you are creating with Cheryl Chapman, the fact that you could help people understand that it's not important what other people think about you, and doesn't really constitute a topic what other people think of you. It's what is important, what you think of yourself. And to clear that story, that narrative you are telling yourself when nobody is listening, that's the most important step.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then it's Cheryl, and she's the genius of storytelling. She will take thin air and make it into an amazing story.
She certainly
does. Two of you
together,
I think you have to be in everybody's life. You have to be in my children's life. You have to be in my life. You have to be in my friend's life. You have to be in my client's life. And actually, I have clients that I don't take on through your crafting experience, because it is a craft. It is a craft that you master it. And I know you have, I don't know, thousands, hundreds of thousands of other gifts. And like everybody I know lately, you are spoiled for choice when it comes to what is your talent, what is your passion. However, I really think, Marion, that this is your gift. This is your life purpose, to help us all speak up, to help us all go on stage and deliver the right message to the right people the right way. And I'm so grateful. I'm beyond words. You remember when we sat in that coffee place in Chelsea a couple of months ago?
Yes.
And you're talking to me about your dreams, about your vision, and I couldn't understand half of it. But all I wanted was you to deliver this gift to the world, and you've done it. I'm mesmerized by you. And I think if there is something that I could say, is simply my hat off.
Oh.
I'm very humbled. Thank you.
Thank you, Marina. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for the influence that you've had on me in the last year, because I've known you for quite a long time now, but it's only been in the last, definitely in the last year for me, that your energy, your motivation, and most of all, your dream has really given me a kick up the arse. I mean, really, really inspired me in such an amazing way, because the amount of time and energy and dedication that you put into serving people is mind-blowing for me. Absolutely mind-blowing. And your message is so clear that you see the heart in everybody, and you demand that everybody shines their light from their heart. You demand it from them. And it's outrageous and it's amazing all at the same time. I really love it. And it's great how unique we all are, isn't it? Because it is true that we do all have a huge variety of gifts and skills, especially women of our age. We've been around a long time. We've done a lot of things. If we didn't have lots of skills, there'd be something going awry, I think. But the skill that you have, and I think most of us have this same thing, our natural skill is invisible to us. Because as I said at the beginning of this show, the teachers didn't put red pen in my book and say, Marion's really good at talking. And Marion's really good at helping people to see that they're having a problem and what the problem is. They never said that about me. But that's what I'm really good at. But they told me I couldn't spell, and I can remember that, you know. So we are so programmed not to see the beauty of who we are. We're so programmed to ignore almost our own natural abilities and skills. And that's what I love about you, because you provide a platform for me to shine. So I help people to bring the shine out, but you are there waiting with the platform. Here, stand on this stage and shine your light on the world. And that is just such a beautiful thing. And I'm so grateful and so inspired by you.
Wow. You know, I'm thinking for our listeners, you look around and you're thinking, oh, they can do it. Everything is happening for them. And for me, only bad things are happening to me. And I'm thinking, what is the one experience in your entire life which didn't really happen for you? It's like you are going to find out. You are in for a treat. Actually, you are in for the feast of the soul, because once you find out why you had to go through the pain, the untold story is going to come out. You are going to have an eureka moment. You are going to understand that actually is not about me. This is about the people are waiting for me. Yeah. Because I've been waiting for you for a long time, Marion. You know, and I know we met a couple of years ago, and somehow we were like part of the same community, but we weren't. So we had to crush our stardust into each other, so to have this splash of stardust and contaminate everyone. And you are absolutely. It's not. I think that the word genius is not even relevant anymore, because you bring all this structure into what other people cannot make sense of it. You are turning that into a blueprint. You are turning that into something very logical, which is transferable.
Yes.
About your ability to share.
Yes.
everything it's very scientifically correct. For other people could be politically correct, but for you it's always scientifically correct. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this the right way, but it's weaving. Basically, you are the weaving.
I am. I love it. And because for me, if I can't make sense of it, if I can't make rational, logical, black and white, 3D sense of it, then I don't get it, and I can't share it. And I think that's what, you know, being a programmer and doing mathematics, and then even going on to work with yoga, it takes me a while to get the concepts, the spiritual concepts, because until I can translate it from a spiritual concept into some kind of a mathematical formula or program, I don't get it and I can't share it. But when I get that part, oh my God, wow, it's like, oh, great, now we can help everybody to understand what this is all about, because our limited mind always wants to understand, you see. It wants to see itself as clever and able to understand things. And the spirit doesn't need to understand, because the spirit just is. But I'm not the spirit right now. I'm living in this body with this mind that wants to understand. And so absolutely, I love science. Politics, I don't get politics, because when you break it down into logical chunks, it doesn't make sense. It's like the sums, they don't add up. The equations don't work. So I'm not into politics at all, but absolutely I'm into science and the type of spirituality that I practice and the therapies and work that I do. They have to have some science behind them, or too much of my mind is going, oh, don't get it, no, don't understand it, don't like it. So yeah, that's absolutely right. I do like to break things down and make them very logical.
But you see, I know people there are different academic minds, and there are different heartfelt messages out there about the why, you know, when people are going on a journey to discover their why. Yeah. But I think what you and Marion are doing with your Why Foundation is very unique and is very different than other people who are on the same path are accomplishing. Because, for example, in my case, so I'm not talking about the thousands of people we've been helping around the world. I'm talking about myself now. So yes. This is my own experience. Good. So yes, I got my why. What you helped me do and what you helped me find was my becoming the why not person. Me, and why not now? These are my only questions now. So for me, seeking or creating or reinventing the wheel is all about why not me, and why not now. From both of us, until next time, just remember, why not you now?
Fabulous. Namaste and goodbye.
Goodbye.